Birdman reviews. Today, the Epiphone Genesis. There you go, just turn your head sideways. Genesis. Look at all those nice little inlays. This is in, I think, black cherry finish. So the Epiphone Genesis guitar, there is a straight shot, is an original model by Epiphone made back in the 70s and 80s. Currently reissued, now made in China. It is a set neck. The shot there, there's your set neck. 22 frets. It's got a flame top veneer. Pair of humbuckers with coil taps. Gold hardware. Some really, get close up there, interesting finish work with the binding and the red overlapping where it shouldn't be. Typical of guitars in this price range. So, maple top, mahogany body, nothing too special. There we go. There's your Epiphone custom shop. Limited edition. Made in China. These are actually limited to how many they can produce. Alright, and there's your bindings. Your binding on the neck, which does not go over the frets, it goes, the frets go over the binding. Typical Chinese. And then your inlays. This shot here. And they're kind of sloppy. They are what you expect for this price range. Okay, so let's get a sound check on this thing. I'm using today my my Mesa Rectiverb, and that Marshall you see right there. Clunk, clunk. Here we go. Alright, there's a pair of humbucker, and a three-way switch, volumes, tones for each. The cool thing is each humbucker has a coil tap, so instead of your normal 3 sounds, you have a combination of 8 sounds with this setup. So let's run through it. And I'm just going to play some garbage here. But that's what I do. Alright, that's 2 humbuckers. Let's go to the neck. Typical of a neck humbuckers. Bridge. Again, typical bridge. Les Paul type sound. Full, heavy, warm, typical Les Paul, except now you have access to your 22nd fret without even worrying about it. Alright, the joy of this guitar is actually in this. Coil tap. So this is the bridge. Alright, I'm not going to have time to go over everything, but Let's tap the neck. Versus untapped. I think you get the idea. The best, I think, for me, both humbuckers tapped, middle position. Alright, so it's not quite stratty, but it's definitely not your typical humbucker. And then, of course, your other positions. Full humbucker, tapped, neck. Or I can do the reverse. So, and then of course you can do volume, turn this one down a little bit. Dial in your tone. Again, you can do that with the humbuckers in full. Brighter, turn up the bridge. And let's run through the lead channel. The crunchy bits. That's this guy. Let's tap it. I did tune before I started this, but I'll say this. These tuners are not the greatest. Something with the setup, it's not a straight pull. Let's get right in there and you can see how the strings bend through the nuts, and as you start bending strings and whatnot, it just doesn't want to stay in tune. So I apologize, I did tune it before. Alright, full humbuckers. Neck. Tapped. Both tapped. So that's the run through. Humbuckers. Nothing exciting there. Alright. So when this guitar showed up, the frets were just a mess. I had to do a lot of setup work. The neck was kind of wonky. The bridge is way too high. The setup by these is supposed to be done in the US. It says 100% inspected and set up in the USA by 23. 23 is not doing a good job. They are a lazy lazy worker. I had to do a good hour and a half of setup work on this guitar once it arrived that I should not have had to do, including buffing all the frets out, because they were just all scratched up and you couldn't bend a string without it just making that sound. Now you can actually, before it was like bending on sandpaper. So there's your Epiphone Genesis, handcrafted in China by the best, well, by the best they can handcraft for this price range. Set neck, inlays, binding, gold hardware, flame top. They gotta cut corners somewhere, and they did it in the quality. Overall, it's playable. It's not bad. It's a fine backup. It's fine if you want to just mess around with humbuckers and splitting them. And you can probably record with it. I wouldn't gig with it, but yeah, you know, it is what it is. Get one if you want one. Skip it if you don't. Leave a comment. Hope you enjoyed the video.